see if I'm live again or if this is channel live. You get a delay there again. There we go. I am live apparently. There we go. I am live. Okay. And I'm live there as well. So I disappeared. So let's see here. Basically what I did was I did a generic button style. I don't think I talked about this, but I sat here for a while and talked about the this is the text style, sorry, generic button style. This one I talked about the colors, that all I'm doing in here is basically I'm setting a tint for the normal base, what the button looks like normally, and what it looks like if we press the button. Because these other things selected, pressed, and disabled, we could do something for disabled. Actually, we could go and just put this to a dark grayed out color. Can do that. But otherwise, you're just gonna have one color here for if it's not pressed and one color if it is pressed. And then we have, of course, a there, generic border style. So this is going to be like the stuff you see between in between the buttons or the background to the prompt text is what this is. It's the only thing that we're doing here is we're setting a tint color to that. That's it. That's all we did. Cool. And then we went in here and we are going to start creating our widgets. Let's see, I'm gonna get my little notes, and we're gonna start with a UI, a generic button. That's what we're going to create here first. We're going to go into Blueprint, and you see all these common UIs widgets is created by creating a blueprint, and then you search for all classes and you're searching for the class you want. And we are going to search for something called common button base. Button base down here. And we're gonna name this generic UI underscore generic button. I'm gonna open this bad boy up. Cool, I can save that out. So we're gonna start with a overlay. Grab that, place that there, so we have that, and we're going to change the size here. We're going to have these two let's see, fits custom, and we're going to set it to 500 times 200. That's the size I want on that button, so you can see it properly on the screen, on the mobile screen here. Now we're going to add a text to this. We're going to search for common text, grab that, put that on top there, and we're going to rename this to button text. And we're going to click in or tick the is variable on that one, and we're going to centralize that so it's in the center. And let's see, we're going to add the style that we have created, button generic button text style. And I see that I missed something. Let's go back to our styles, and we're going to do button text style. Let's see, because it looks like the entire button is black. Font, color, of course. Here we go. Yeah. Thank you. Say that. Say that. It's gonna be white. There we go. Text block. That's what it's supposed to look like. All right. Let's go into our graph. Well, wait a minute. We need to go into our button. Boom. Thank you. I'm gonna do the styles and generic button styles. So it's a blue color here with the black and white front. I'm gonna go into the graph here now. So what we want to do is we want to create a value that we can set. So this is going to be a button text value. And we're going to set this to text. And we are going to pop in this little eyeball here so we can access this from outside the script. And then we're going to drag in our button text. And we're going to set that next to our event pre-construct here. And we're going to drag in, let's see here. Right, we're going to set the text, set text. It's like, and we're going to choose this set text in text. And we're going to drag this bad boy and we're going to place it in there. So we have that connected up like so. So whenever we create a text, this button text value will be set, and then it will set that into the button text. And whenever the item is being created, then that will be updated. Right. So let's save that and go back to our main menu here. We'll go back to widgets, and now we're going to create the actual UI. Are we? Let's see. I'm just going to take a little look-see. Generic button. Yeah, let's create our UI main menu. There we go. We're going to take a new blueprint here, and we're going to search for common activatable widgets. Let's see, this one at the bottom, common activatable widget. That's the one we want. We're going to call that UI underscore main menu or underscore menu. And we're going to open that bad boy up. So what do we want here? Well, we want to start with a overlay, of course, because that's what we want to work with. Overlay almost always works with an overlay. And we're going to add something called a common border. Drag that on top there. Let's see. Just going to double check here because I don't think I have my chat windows open, so I need to see just in case somebody asks something. So I want to double check. Yeah, YouTube is just not picking up. I don't know what is wrong with that, so I have to look that up. Both Twitch and Kick is working. That's good. Cool. All right, where were we? We common border. Yeah, we're gonna center the common border here. And we're gonna change this to the style to generic border style. And then we're gonna center the content as well. Okay, let's add a vertical box into this vertical box. And this vertical box is going to contain our buttons. So we're going to add our 4 generic buttons. I'm gonna add 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm gonna set the size here. Mint width is what do we say? 500 times 250. Was that what we said? Okay. Let's start with renaming them. So we have that new game. We'll call the second one, or new game, yeah, load game. Let's see. Load game. Oh, let's see. I renamed everything. So new game. I'm gonna have load game. Come on. They can't have the same name. And then we're gonna have options. And then we're gonna have quit. Perfect. So let's see here what size it was. 500 times 250, right? And 500 times 250, 500. There we go. Let's gonna double check that into my designer. No, 200. All right. 200. Yeah, I thought it looked a little bit big to me. 200. 200. 200. I see, I actually missed that in my documents. So I have to update that piece of information. Huh. All right. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to add a spacer in between each one here. What I can do actually is I can, let's do, I'm going to change this to 1.0 and 10.0. And I'm going to copy that, and we're going to place another one there and another one there. So now we have, and you see this little blue color, extra blue color in between. And let's see here. I'm gonna rename this because I need to call them new game button. It's just for me to easily recognize them. And we're gonna set the button text value here to new game. And then we'll take the next one. It's a load game. And we're going to change this to load game. New game, load game. Let's see, I'm going to have options. And this is going to be options button. And then we have quit button. And I'm going to set the value here to quit. Boom. Oh, something wrong. There we go. All right. So that is going to be, this is how our main menu is going to look like when it's done and dusted. All right, let's create our prompt. So I'm gonna go in here, we're gonna create this, and we're gonna call, we're gonna have a something called a common activatable widget. Like that. We're gonna call this UI underscore prompt. There we go. And yeah, we're gonna start with a overlay. And then we're gonna have a common back border, sorry, border, common border. And of course this one is, let's see here, so I don't miss anything. Generic border style, yeah. There we go, boom, boom. We're going to center that vertically and horizontally, so we have it in the center. And we're also going to put in a vertical box, put that on top of our border, and this vertical box is going to contain 2 lines, so you're going to have the text on top and then the buttons on the bottom. So we're going to have a common text, and this is going to be the header that we created earlier when it comes to our textiles. So we're going to have a style here, and it's going to be a generic prompt header textile. And same problem there, we forgot to add the white and have the textile, and this is not the outline, sorry. Font color, there we go. This is the one we want. We close that one. We want to change this into a white color. Boom. Compile and save that. And that's our button. That's our common text block. And let's see here. I'm going to change this to prompt text. We're going to say that this is a variable because we need to update this, and we're going to set it to horizontally and vertical alignment in the center, and the header text, and then we're going to have auto wrap. I'm going to go down here and we're going to change this wrap into auto wrap text just in case it gets a little bit too long, so we need it on 2 lines so it doesn't overflow on the sides. Right, and we want a horizontal box for our buttons here. So we're going to have a horizontal box. I'm going to place that on our vertical box so we end up on the bottom. And inside here, let's say we're going to set the padding to 10. Let's see, there we go. We're going to go up here. Center this, and I'm going to set the padding to 10 on all sides. There we go. I'm going to put in 2 boxes, buttons. And let's see, you are generic. I'm going to have horizontal boxes, 2 of them. And same thing here, we need to change this to 500 and 200. And I'm going to do that for the second one as well. And then we're going to put a, let's see, so don't miss anything. Sorry, we're going to set this at 250. See, that's why we need the freaking nodes, 250 and 60. I want this to be. There we go. We are going to set this variable, and we're going to call them, the left one here, we're going to call this yes button. And the other one, we're going to call it no button. And we're going to set the text value to no on this one and yes on that one. There we go. And we want a spacer in between. Come on. Is it there? And let's see, the spacer, we want to have that as 5. Placing that there, 5 and 1. All right, compile and save that. So let's go into the graph here. So we're going to have 2 new variables. So we can click that 2 times, boom. And the first variable we want to have is called, come on, thank you, prompt info text. Prompt info text, and the other one is going to be origin button. And this will keep track on where the button was pressed originally, so we get the correct text. Origin button. So this will be of type text. The first one will be of type text, and the second one will be of type or button choices, right? And this is, of course, the enum that we created earlier, and we need to expose those so we can access them from other scripts, or set them from another script. And of course, this enum is the enum we created when we started out with this, and we have that. Where do we have enums? Enums is here, and this is the button choices. So this is the type of variable we created there. Start to get a lot of these windows open. I'm going to close down a couple of them. All right. Cool, so that's that. So now we want to highlight the yes button here, and we're going to go down and click on button base clicked. What happens if the button is clicked? We have the yes button first. We can also do it for the no button. Base clicked. All right. So for the yes button, we are going to get our origin button. Get that. We're going to get the switch on that. And we're going to connect that up here. So what we want to do with this state is we're just going to get print states here. Print string. And the first one going to be that we press the new game. And then we're going to have a load game. And we're not going to do anything from the options, and from the quit here we're just going to quit game. So quit game, that's what's going to happen if we press the yes button. If we press the no button here, we're just going to disable the widget. So disable widget. Let's see, it's supposed to be a disable widget called deactivate widget. Jesus, deactivate widget, and it's going to be of self. So it deactivates itself, and therefore it's going to hide it from the stack and show what's underneath, so that we'll go back to the main menu. It's basically what's going to happen when you deactivate this widget. All right, so I'm going to create a new widget here. I'm going to go down to content, HUDs, main menu, widgets. There we go. And we're going to do a new blueprint type, and this is going to be a common user widget. Common user widget. Because what is this new widget we're creating now? Well, let's see, we're going to name it UI common widget. Widget, boom. So this widget, what it's going to do is going to keep track of the stack. What is the stack then? The stack is, for example, it's a set of widgets that you stack on top of each other, and the widget that is on top is always the widget you're going to see. So what you do is you have first the main menu. Let's say it's a record, a stack of vinyl records. So you put one record at the bottom, that's the main menu record. Then you, let's say you have, we are going to have two. So we have the prompt record. It's a record of the prompt. It's a widget, the prompt widget. And you place that on top of, place that on top of the record that's already on the floor. So if you place the main menu on the floor and then you put the record on top, then you won't be able to see the main menu record, right? You can't see that record because it's underneath the other record. And to be able to get back and see that record, you need to deactivate or pop off the record that is on top. You remove the prompt, and all of a sudden you can see the one underneath. Now you can have a shit ton of records you place on top. You can have a whole stack. That's what you call it, a stack. But you have to deactivate all of them to be able to see what's underneath. So for example, if you forget to deactivate something in between, you won't be able to see the bottom record, right? This is, for example, if you have a system where you can go between different and jump between different widgets in a menu system, you need to deactivate them when you pop it up the next one. If you don't have a back button, if you have a back button, then you need to just be able to activate the former widget. It can get very complicated. For us here now, we're going to do it very, very simply. We're just going to have two records that go, so we're going to activate and deactivate the prompt. That's all we're going to do. But this is going to keep track of it. So we're going to call this, we're going to have a common user widget here. Let's see, we are just going to get our, common activatable widget stack. So there is something called a queue, and we got something called the word stack. We're going to use the stack. The queue is working similarly, it's just in a different way. I haven't really worked with the queue before. But if I understand it, it goes backwards. It's popping it up from the bottom rather than the top. We're going to use the stack in a way because I know how to use this. So we're going to rename this to main menu. And this is the stack that's going to keep track on our widgets, what is on top, etc. All right, so the first thing we want to go in here and do the transition. So this is pretty cool. So we're going to do a zoom transition, and we're going to do it the cube in and out. There's a lot of different options in here. All these things are different transitions, so you know, go in and play around with them. They're pretty cool actually to play with. So let's go into the graph, and we're going to create a custom event here. So custom event, I'm going to add that. We're going to call this push menu. And we're going to drag in a copy of the main menu. That's the stack that we just created. And we're going to push something on top on this. Push widget. And we're going to plug this in. And what is it we're going to push on top of? Well, that is going to be decided when we're actually pushing on it. So we're going to drag this activatable widget class. What are we going to push on top of it? We're going to plug it into the push menu. So whatever you call the push menu, that's when we decide what's going to be pushed on top of the stack. So this is basically just pushing it. All right, so compile this, and we're going to save this, and we're going to go back to that front end player controller here. Let's see, that's the game mode. Go into content. I have the controllers in one here, and it's the player controller we want to deal with here. I'm going to go into the graph, event graph here. And so we're going to hook this up on the screen right now. So we're going to first create a widget. Create widget. I'm going to create a widget. Connect that to the begin play. So whenever we begin play here, we're going to create a widget. And we're going to create the common widget we just created here. Common widget. That's the one we want to create, and then we're going to drag off from owning player here to self. I'm going to get the reference to self as the owning player. We want to promote this into a variable, and we're going to call that UI underscore common underscore widget. There we go, and then we are just gonna, let's see, so don't miss anything. We're gonna add this to viewport. Add to viewport. Boom. All right. Right. Now we're gonna decide what are we gonna push on top of this widget. So we're gonna take our common UI widget, and we're gonna call that push menu that we decided on. And what are we going to push? We're going to push the main menu UI. So basically, if I did everything I'm supposed to, we're supposed to be able to go in here, click play, and there we go. Here 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 we go. It doesn't do anything right now, but the button seems to click, 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 and it's on the screen. So, always a win. Always a win. Okay. Let's move on here. We're gonna continue here. We're gonna see here. Yes, we're gonna go back to the common widget here, and we're gonna create a new function because now we want to work on the prompt. So we're gonna do a custom event here, and this is gonna be called push prompt. And we're gonna use the same, let's see here, the main menu, and we're gonna push widget. So we're gonna copy those two, I think. And what we're gonna do here now is we're gonna take this activatable widget class, move it in there as well. Same thing here, so we know which button actually pushing the button. Oh, yeah, which button we pushed. Let's see. Now we're gonna cast this to the widget. So cast to prompt widget UI prompt. Gonna get the prompt here, and let's see. Now we're gonna get the prompt text. We're gonna get the prompt text, and we're gonna set that text. And what are we gonna set it with? Well, we're gonna set it with, let's see, a text that comes from the prompt push here. So I'm going to drag that in there. Cool. So now we have that information is coming straight from when we're calling. When we want to push the prompt, we will inform the prompt what information do we want to pass on, what text do we want the prompt to display. That's what we want to say here. Let's see here. That's it. And we have one more thing we want to get out of this. Let's see. Origin button. So we want to set origin button. Which button did everything come from? Because that will be telling us which result do we want to perform. What, you know, if you push new game and come up, here is going to come the text, do you really want to start a new game? And then you press yes, but we have to know what are we actually going to do if we press yes, and that's information comes from this one. We're going to push that in there. Oops, it didn't go. Come on. There we go. Didn't do it in the right place of the node. I'm just gonna get these guys down and out of the way so it's not gonna be an spaghetti today. Cool. So we complete that. I'm gonna save that. So now we're gonna go back to the player controller again, and we're gonna create a prompt. We have a new function that's gonna create the prompt. So custom event, and we are going to call this create prompt. Like so. And we're gonna get the, let's see, they're gonna copy. Hey man, what type of game I'm doing? This is a pretty simple ball rolling game. So it's pretty basic. So you know, you have that the table that you tilt back and forth, and then you get the ball to roll. Yeah, I'm doing good. I hope you're doing good too. Let's see here. Where are we? Jesus, I'm sitting here and looking at. I did prepared everything. I created a PDF, and then you're just gonna try to figure out what the hell you're doing. And you're sitting and looking at the PDF and like, how did I do this? So yeah, so I have this PDF here that I created with all the steps, and yeah. So yeah, I can show off the game here in a bit when we created it. Yeah, it's more of a hobby. I do it because I like to do it, but I'm trying to learn it. But no, starting up a new business here in a few months. So I'm actually starting a bakery. So that's actually what I do for a living. But this is something I really like doing. So yeah, you know, I've been doing computers and shit and game development for a couple of years now, so it's something I do enjoy. But I think that out of the business, most of this stuff, it's not something I will be able to. It's like too many people doing it, I feel like, you know, and the UI that's coming, AI that's coming, it feels like you're going to take over this anyway. All right, the create prompt, we're gonna get the Yeah. Let's see. We're gonna get our common UI here and trying to just get on track where the hell I was. And we're gonna create the prompt and we're gonna call the push prompt. Yeah. Boom. Yeah. So you guys, are you doing? Are you in the industry, or you are you working yourself on this stuff, or is it hobbies for you as well? Anyway, yeah, AI stuff can be, yeah. I think it's gonna take maybe another 5 years, and then you're gonna have like a little prompt window and go like, I want this game, I want this game, I wanted to do this, and they're like, you get a game and you're like, no, change this, change that, and then all of a sudden you have that. That's how you're gonna work with it. So I think technical game development, everything to do with Photoshop, all that kind of technical stuff, it's just going to be a few years, and all of a sudden nobody will do it except for AI. Yeah, you started up with the game. Okay. Yeah, well, good luck, I must say. If you do it, my hat's off to you. I wouldn't have the balls to do it at this time, unfortunately. But I do enjoy the craft of it. Absolutely do. So, I've been doing programming for many years now. I really started out with front end development and web pages and stuff like that, and I've been doing working with Node.js databases. I was thinking about creating a how should I say, a on game real store, between players, so you can actually buy and sell stuff in the game, and actually activate it with other players. For example, you pick up a shovel and you go like, okay, now I can create something with this. You take the shovel, I can sell it, in a store, and then another player can go like, oh, I need a shovel, so you can go and buy it. So I've been thinking about, yeah, I'm really bad explaining stuff like that. But basically, you should be able to buy and sell and have a marketplace through interaction in the game, but what is so interesting about the concept is that I can mash everything I know together. So you have in-game UI. You can go up to a counter in one store and say, hey, I get a shovel. Okay, you can sell it here. And then you have HTTP request and goes into a server that goes to an API that handles request and say, okay, I'm gonna talk to the database, I update the database, I send back the information and go like, yes, we have now placed this order into the database, and now somebody else on another client can go like, I need to go to this place and get a shovel, and all of a sudden, yes, it's one for sale, so I'm really bad at explaining stuff, and I know that my mentor for business mentor is like, you need to know how to explain your ideas properly. And sorry, I'm like, oh yeah, I got this great idea, and oh, you're gonna explain it. It's like, so I'm working on it, but we'll see. So that's something I'm working on, and hopefully I can put a tutorial series together, but that would be probably, I don't know, 4 months or 5 months down the line or something like that. Yeah, play around the economy, really cool, but also really hard to pull off properly. Yeah, I think that yeah, it's actually not that ambitious when you think about it, because you basically build an API that will handle the requests. So you send a request from a client, that API handles the request, updates the database, sends back the information to the API that is basically returning information to the client that says this is done. I would say that the most time will be spent on architecture, how to build out the queries. The actual code is actually pretty straightforward. But maybe it's because I worked with it for a while. But I must say that I have one on my channel. I have one video that is an HTTP video, how to send HTTP requests to a server. It's very simple. It's basically us going out and requesting a time variable from a API, and that seems to be the highest number watched for me. It's not thousands, it's 800 views or something like that, but indicates to me that people requesting information on how to use HTTP in their requests in their game. And for me, it's like, right, I think there is a want and a will to get more information about these things, because it's pretty hard to find. I mean, you can go and you can research. Yeah. It is. I've been doing some web stuff, so yeah. Get it? Yeah. Absolutely all at zero. I honestly, I did this for a while and then I stopped. I've been doing other things. I've been streaming video games and stuff like that. So yeah. I must say that the thing is, the most like everybody else, I'm on these Facebook groups and stuff like that, and been seeing posts from people that seem to want to know how to hook up Unreal with the server and do this thing that you can update the server with, for example, a store or whatnot. And it seems like they don't really understand that what they need to learn is web development first, and then you connect that together with Unreal Engine, and that's how you get that to work. The problem is, at least for me, or not for me, but for a lot of people, you're using C++ in Unreal Engine, right? And then you'd use JavaScript to build a API server, and then you probably need some kind of understanding on database languages. So it's a lot of languages you need to learn, and they need to talk to each other. And then you could have, when it comes to Node.js that I've been working with, is that you could have like 4 different languages within that. So it's a lot of different things. Yeah. Surge, yes. Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see if I can pull it together. I'm gonna try to do it though. I do enjoy to work with it, and I mean, I can. This is one of the service I am working with. This is an API I'm working on right now. This is not a game server API. This is a API for training courses that I've been working on. Call it boot camp. But this is basically what it is. It's an API, and this controls everything from verification, cryptation, web tokens, and so this handles all that and is the security bot between the client and the database, because what you don't want is a direct connection between the database and the client. That is, you're gonna be ripped apart if you even try to do that. And I've seen people do that. They try to connect their web game clients straight to a database, and I'm like, oh my god, that is going to end in disaster. So yeah. Let's see, where were we? Command prompt, custom event, create. Those is dragged in there. I'm gonna go to the main UI, main menu. Let's see, I don't have that open. Content, maps, boom. Jesus. HUDs, text on main menu, widgets, UI main menu. There we go. I think you're making HTTP web stuff in generated really smart, considering there's not a lot of info on coupling your game with a web API. No, there's basically nothing out there. To be honest, there's basically nothing. Yeah. There should be a authentication phase between the client and database server. Yeah, you gotta have a protector that protects your data. No, it's the API to do it. So you have a server, right? You have a server, and on the server you have the API. And what you do is you take your client, web client, and you send a HTTP request to the API. And the API is taking that query and saying, okay, I am verifying that you are who you are. I'm doing that by probably a token of some kind. I am checking your request. It is properly formatted, and then you route that through the specific router, and you send that. You create a new query to the database saying, hey, I want to do this. I want to retrieve this data. I want to post data, whatever I want to do. And then when that data comes back, I reformat it and I send it back to the client to update the client. So it's one server that's handling, but it's the API that is the... Yeah, there's a whole pipeline in doing that. Yeah, definitely. And that's how you have to do it. Otherwise, you're going to get some kind of injection stuff, because people are very good at screwing you up if you don't have your helmet on, which is a program in JNode that actually helps you secure your API in the server. That's the thing. There's a lot of... That's why I love Node.js, not jQuery, Node.js. That's why I love Node.js, is because you got all these small little middleware you can put in to help you protect yourself. Already built. Somebody built it. Free for you to use. You just plug it in. It's like 2 lines of code, and you got a whole library of stuff that is working for you and doing everything you need for your protection. Okay, we're gonna go into crap here, and we're gonna go to event construct. I'm gonna take this boy here. Let's see, are we in the right place? Yes. So I'm gonna get the player controller here. And we're gonna cast this to front end PC. There we go. And yeah, we're gonna play index 0. And we're gonna promote this to a variable, and yeah, we don't need to update the name. Says when it comes to games with online functionality and zero trust in players seems like the way to go. Yeah, no, it's not the players, you know, it's there always going to be somebody that's 15 years old and just like to screw around and have fun and see it as a game to see if they can take you down. You know, it's a fun game. It's like World of Warcraft. You know, it's like EVE Online. Everybody want to do something to screw with you, to see, because it's fun, right? That's how they do it. That's what they do. That's, you know. So yeah, you need to make sure that you're safe and do what you were supposed to do. And I mean that's a game for you too, to make sure that whatever you produce, whatever game you produce is safe. Making sure that nobody, you know, everybody that tries to screw with you is, you know, going to fail. And there are ways to do it most of the time, not always. Let's see. Yes, front-end PC. Gonna. So this is whenever you are clicking on the load game. So we want to create a prompt. So we're gonna take our front-end player controller here, and we're gonna create prompt. There we go. So this is the prompt we created. So this is the load game. So want to load game ? Good. And then we're going to have the origin button is a load game. And then we're just going to copy this. Boop. For new game, want a new game. Boom. The option is going to be a separate widget when I'm coming to that, and the quit game is going to be here though. Want to quit the game. This is basically among the last things we're gonna do here, so I'm gonna hook this up. Then we're gonna test it out. Yeah, you pressed the 50 euro. You should see me, my kid, my boy. He's 20 now. When he was 8, he could write code. He could program shit when he was 8 years old. He's working as a professional web developer now. He's just amazing when it comes to that. I'm not even close. You know, he's fucking amazing. So, but he's working with you know, real companies, and he's really in the business. So let's just test this and see if this works. So I'm gonna press a new game. And we are missing something. What are we missing? This is always something we're missing. Creating. Oh shit. Let's see. First of all, load game, new game. This is gonna be quit. That's the first thing. So now we're gonna see what the hell did I do wrong. Probably don't. Let's see. Let's go to front-end player controller. Ah, shit. Okay, hold on. Let's see. So we're clicking a button, we're creating the prompt, and oh, wait a minute. There we go. You need to have that one. There we go. There we go. You want a new game? Yes or no? Yes, then new game comes up. Seems a little narrow though. We need to look at that. No, it should do this. We want to load a game. Yes, load game. No. Option won't work because we don't have an option, and quit should say no, does go back here, and yes should quit the game, and there we go, quit game. Let's see, it's the prompt feels a little narrow, so I need to do that one. The vertical box, where is that? I should have a minimum width on the box or the text or something. Let's gonna see what I used to put, what I put when I did this the first time. And come on, where the hell are you? UI prompt, let's see, we name it UI prompt designer. Start with an overlay, blah 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 blah, generic border, vertical box. Auto fill 250, that's the buttons. Oh, okay. Set the common border. Why is it wrapping? Something I did that I forgot. Let's see. I don't want it to wrap. There we go. Thank you. Jesus. Now. Supposed to fill out. Interesting. See another thing that I did wrong. So we're gonna go and I'm gonna do it at main menu. There we go. Want a new game. Want to load a game. There we go. However, comma widget prompt. Okay, let's do this instead. Go to main menu, because I don't think the text is going to be that long. Okay. HUDs, textiles, time. Main menu, styles. Here we go. Yellow room. Find the right place where you store everything. There we go. And it's not there either. Where the hell was that? Well, let's see. That's not the right solution. I have to find out. I have to look into it. At least we. It doesn't wrap. Well, there you go. All right. I have to look into that. When working with widget blueprints, that gets confusing really fast. Making widget that holds 20 plus variable and a lot of function is hard to keep track of. Yes, it can get confusing, but honestly, working with slates, it's just too much work. Widgets can tend to become pretty messy, but you just need to try to keep organized. I mean, I'm doing C++ most of the time, but at the same time, this entire project is just blueprints because honestly, I have never. This is the first time I'm working with mobile, games and stuff like that. So I didn't know what was what when it comes to the code, and I didn't feel like I wanted to experiment. I just wanted to try to do something simple, and so I went with blueprints here. And I mean, it is kind of messy, if I put it like that, but overall it's okay. So basically this is, well, you can look at level 5. This is the game I've been working on. So it's one of these simple table games, you got little coins, you got treasure chest, and there something happens. So oh my god, it's been working fine, and then all of a sudden there's something, because I did some changes and I haven't updated position, stuff like that, so that might be it. I have to look at it. So basically you can pick up coins and you can pick up other things. Here, for example, it's an extra life that is on top here. Oh, and then 5 points. Yeah, you don't want to do anything with slate. You want to use the widgets, honestly. You don't. I don't think that's monkey ball. Oh, okay, I don't know what that is, but I mean, this is, I don't know, you probably much younger than I am, but when I was a kid, we had these tables that you have two rollers on the side, one on top side, or no, one on the side and one at the by your belly, and it controlled the surface, and you have to wiggle your way around the course. So that's basically the thing this is. Now I only don't look at the colors and stuff like that because I'm really bad at the look of it. I basically done the basics and then try to make sure that the game actually functions. So I haven't gotten to it yet, but I want to implement things like, you know, things that's running rotating and pushing you into holes, and you know, things that you can catch to 9 seconds. There you go. That will I don't know, something is not right now. I have to really investigate what's going wrong with it. Yeah, so that's basically, this is a, you know, one of those games you sit a few hours in the afternoon and trying to do something with, and then, you know, when you have the few hours over. It's a prototype, definitely a prototype. And to be honest, if I was gonna push this out and set it to sell, if I get it, you know, I put 100 levels together and then make it, you know, pretty cool when it comes to gameplay, I probably need to take somebody in to do the way it looks, you know, colors and, you know, whatnot. Because me, I can get the functionality in, it's not a problem. The look, how it looks, no, that's not me. That's not my thing. I probably have to bring somebody else in that can do that, and I can split the profit if it's profits on a game like this. I don't know if you can get a profit. Probably through ad revenue, maybe. It's not a game you can sell, really. It's too many free games. The problem with the free games is that it's so much ads. I hate ads myself. I really hate ads. It's the worst. Worst. Really hate it. But yeah, no, I actually created everything in here. I created in Blender and then push it over to here. So all the coins is, you know, everything is made in Blender. So yeah, when it comes to the content, except for one thing actually, these little things, I actually downloaded them in the pickup. It's a pickup set. This is actually downloaded. Let's see, effects, I think it is emitters. No, not the emitters. Anyway, the coins and stuff I did, but there we go. Blueprint. No, what the hell? Models? No. There we go. Jeez, I couldn't see it. But this is actually downloaded, and it's okay. I could do it myself, but that would take me a week to produce these things. So I thought, hey, this is free. Why not use it? Yes, it is important. That is definitely important. That is, you know, mechanics. It's a pretty simple game, you know, when it comes to the mechanics. It's making it look all right. Right now I'm trying to more do something that might not look the best, but it's fun to play. And then if I get somebody in that can actually make it look good, then we're good to go, you know. So yeah, so that's what I've been doing. Yeah, so I'm gonna start prepping and start working on the other stuff we talked about. I think that that could be good, but that will, you know, it's not a full-time job. I got other stuff going on, especially when I'm opening a bakery. Yeah, so we'll see. So yeah, anyway, I gotta get going because I got a couple of dogs I need to take care of. So hey, Medgard, nice of you to drop by anyway. You know, thanks so much. Nice to have somebody to talk to as well. I have no idea. I streamed on, let's see, yeah. So I am on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. So yeah, absolutely. I'm doing my best. So we'll see. I mean, it's just for fun. It's if this was a project to make money out of it, oh my god, I would not be streaming. I would just be working. Right now, it's just for fun. Thank you so much for stopping by, and you have a good day now. Okay, you see. All right, take care, and I'll see you next time if you stop by when I stream. So, thank you. Bye bye.